Let's do it. And it is nighttime. And hopefully everyone's winding down. Today was a productive day. We had some cool opportunities to double stream. Actually, oh no, don't worry about it, man. You missed the worst stream I think I've ever done. Not the worst in terms of like me being bad, but it's a point of business actually right now to show some of this stuff. I was not doing well with the compositions I was putting together. This is I was trying to do thumbnails of I don't even have I mean these are not bad drawing here. Go here. It's not that this is bad drawing stuff, but this is it wasn't right, you know. And I was totally fighting my tools. You know, the poppy coffee might have had yeah, there was some of that influence. We did this too. You might have seen it. I posted this to the Discord. Yeah, so, you know, ticking the boxes, getting the Twilight Princess stuff. So these were studies that I did, and then I was like, okay, I'll come up with a new composition. So I was trying to do thumbnails, and just everything was looking wrong. And I was getting frustrated. But I came home. I started working on some other compositions. And this is sort of me sort of stepping through some different options. Basically, I'm trying to come up with something where Link is the story being it's like a little post Twilight Princess. So, you know, he's saved the Twilight Princess, saved Zelda. Twilight Princess goes away, but then yeah, you know, he lives with Zelda happily ever after, but he remembers the Twilight Princess. And sometimes when he can't sleep at night, he goes and walks the palace grounds and thinks about her. Something like that, you know. So this is me putting together. I still like this. Maybe I should go back to this one. This is the one I'm trying to stick. Let's see here. So I'm going to shade into it a bit and get it looking right. I'm not going to go too late, so if you need to BRB, that's acceptable. How did I know? Yeah, man, big day. It was in the vibes. It was in the juju out there. It wasn't a boy. I'm really gotta harness my restraint to not talk about politics today. So I'm not going to. But here we go again. Yeah. I've got my list of things not to talk about, and like AI is on there, and because I talk about it too much, and then so I'm gonna make some sticky notes. It's like, don't rant about AI, no politics. Let me think of like a dozen other things. So I'm just going to try and sweeten this to a point where I feel like it's right where I want it to be. And then I'll sleep on it and see what we think. I think we should get the official name changed to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Yeah. Isn't that cute? Talking about my daughter making a basically writing out the notes to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and she spelled it wrong, and it's like the cutest thing ever. Here, I think I have this is share worthy. We have a picture of it. How cute is this? You can throw it up on Discord? Yeah. Yeah. I'll share it here, though. Look how cute this is. My daughter is, I guess, taking piano lessons, and she has a touch of the hypergraphia. She really likes writing, and that's a good thing. And she really likes drawing, too. And she's sort of enamored with the idea of writing out music. And here she's, I think, done a good job of writing out the song. It's kind of cool. Get her into calligraphy. Yeah, she actually taught herself a pretty decent amount of cursive. Like, no one said anything, and she's like, I'm gonna learn to write like this. And so she just sort of intuited most of it, and then mom gave her a few pointers on how to do it better, and it's freaking amazing. You know, smart girl. Anyway, also in this composition is the wolf is back here, sort of howling at the moon. Takes after her mom. With her sort of getting into all sorts of projects, definitely. Yeah, there's so there's lots to like. What I'm hoping is sort of coming across is there are these sort of pointy swoops to the castle, and I'm gonna echo that with like the pointy swoops and like the carve outs of the mountain, but also even in the negative space of the moon. You know what I mean? And then these are like pointy palm trees, so we'll get that over there too. And it sort of speaks to, like, he's conflicted between the two worlds of, you know, this is like in Star Trek Next Generation, where Captain Picard still remembers being a robot, and he might kind of like it a little bit, you know. It's supposed to be a nightmare, but it's like, you can tell there's part of him yearns for the mines. Anyway, I've been really it's been a very important kind of emotional support for me to have a project to pour myself into when work is not busy. It's just slow right now. I think this is the turning point. I mean, hopefully, but there's nothing I can do to control it. So I just have to be available and prevent myself from getting into any sort of depression. And this really helps to sort of keep my skills sharp, you know? So that when work does call, I'm not rusty, you know? I can just dive in. Must be tactful about representing cleavage. But it looks like we can get away with some. I'm going to need to re-rough all of this out again. Because this was such a hard slog sorting out which composition to go with, and then making everything make sense. I don't know if it's like easy to sort of grasp, but like this was really sort of difficult to, because he's leaning forward towards camera. And this shoulder is closer to camera. But the upper part of his arm is going away from camera and then bending again, and then the forearm is going towards camera again. So there's a lot of like Z space movement, and then this shoulder is farther away, but it's also higher. And then the whole arm is pushing forward. And so there's this weight distribution. It was really important to get these overlaps. And then now I'm remembering that I forgot. I need to make sure, because this is super important. There's like a sense of wind. So we need to have, you know, some leaves kind of blowing. Z's nuts, yeah. Maybe not that crazy, but doesn't have to be too much, but we definitely need the physical representation of like the energy, the howl. It's like the sound that really helps it. And then Link is going to be underlit. It's not well represented here because the castle is so shaded. But imagine from the town below, there's lighting from the village, basically, is coming up and lighting him from beneath. But then behind, there's the moonlight. And then maybe some ambient blue light all over everything as usual. Nothing wrong with that.
Go back, Sam! Going to Mordor alone. Of course you are. Then I'm coming with you!
Have to remember to save. That's been an issue. I lost a little bit of work on a couple of occasions today, so I don't know what's going on. Just bad energy. There's going to be a lot of pushing and pulling to make sure that the balance feels right and feels natural. Not too much, not too little. I want everything to feel like it belongs where it is and isn't getting forced. Definitely doing my squinting today. I was very touched, and I call it a few moments that I very much appreciated today was I was encouraged to join a Zelda Creators Forum by some of the watchers of the stream, so I did that, and then out of curiosity I clicked around and I was like, hell, maybe I'm on their radar, you know. So I searched for my name in the Discord, and turns out my follower, but Sextra had already been hyping me up there for about a month now, which I thought was awesome. It's like an extremely cool thing to discover, is that, I don't know, it's like fans. And then another viewer, apparently even watches my VODs, has been actually studying and learning, you know, and was inspired enough to start doing their own art streams, which is extremely cool. So shout out to Twilight Farmer Boy. Definitely takes guts to get online and draw. Hell yeah, there's Sextra. Yeah, this is we're getting in there with the redemptions. Have you been in the have you been watching long? I took us through the my bro was falling asleep, but we were looking at some of this stuff. These are earlier versions where I was trying to, after the earlier debacle where I just couldn't get things right, I had some ideas about different poses of Link, essentially sort of leaning, and then this was the big revelation, was that if we look at these, here's the big difference, is that here, do you see how the angle is just level? You like the changes? Yeah. I'm still gonna sleep on it before I start refining. You've been in the background since these nuts. Okay. So earlier I was trying to show my bro that we were looking at some of these, and the POV is sort of super flat and wide. This just doesn't have the sense of like looking up, you know. because like you can see the perspective is just very flat. Everything's horizontal. So then I came home and I was like, need to overemphasize, just for the sake at least of like me getting it, like what's it look like with perspective, like real perspective, like we're looking up, and the castle has to have perspective at like an angle, vanishing points, you know. And same thing with whatever Link is touching or leaning on, the geometries have to you need orthogonals, not just horizontal lines, right? And so I was experimenting here, and this was already feeling so much better. And I do like, you know, getting a better read on Link this way. There were some reasons where, like this and this, like this I felt was really solid. I think I can and could make this work. So that's why I'm still sleeping on it. But there were some interesting things. When I would flip it horizontal, you know, flop it horizontally, I would notice things where I'm like, okay, this needs a little more balance. And so now I've alighted to sort of this sort of new composition, and I feel like this is the winner. And part of the reason is like because I can squint at it and it looks awesome, right? And I know it will look awesome when I finish it. You know what I mean? You know, with this, you know, we can get all sorts of, it's looking solid now, right? It's gonna have the things that I need it to have. I think there's a small chance I might make Link slightly bigger. I might cheat him just a little bit bigger. But it's like, if I do that, then the scale of everything just starts to fall apart a little bit. And I don't mind having him a little bit minimized. We still get a good amount of Link. It's all about maximizing the midness. And it's probably not clear, but she's kind of got like this kind of like, I'm hideous, but like sort of angle. There are wisps of different orientations for different things, and I haven't quite figured out exactly how much emphasis I want on crucial anatomical forms. The hair needs to be okay. Well, I'm glad, you know, if certain things are reading well, then I'm glad. But yeah, there's stuff where I'm like, should this go this way? Should this go that way? Part of me feels like I've been getting lost more due to the fact that these are the vertical compositions are not like an automatic thing for me to just sort of get. The horizontal stuff, like I was drawing, I draw a 16 by 9 like automatically. It's like in my sleep I can do that. When we get into the verticals, I don't just automatically have my measurements flowing out perfectly. And so I've been getting I'll draw something and then I'll flop it horizontally, and it's like, whoa, that looks way more different than I thought it would. It is. It's different, and it's good practice, and it is. To be honest, like I actually have to draw a lot of verticals these days because Because you know how they're... You know what app just got unbanned is TikTok, and it's definitely a 9:16 format, which is nothing I love drawing in, but at this point, looks like I'm gonna have to get used to it. It is good practice. Have you done any drawing today? I fully expect everybody to be ambidextrous by the end of the week. That's cute. That's cool. That's a cool look right there. Not really, just doodles. Do you tend to just wait until, or you know, is it do you find like inspiration just strikes one day and then you got to get it out of your system, so you draw what you're thinking? And until you run out of gas on it. Yeah, sometimes inspiration just strikes, yeah. Can't control it. I'm giving an attempt to see what some underlighting might do. I'll usually just draw someone in a pose, and if it doesn't work, I'll just redraw it till inspiration strikes. This was one of the more challenging poses I've ever had to sort of arrive at. It's the perspective of this angle makes it really difficult too. I wanted something to complement, because we were going over this on the stream earlier, where like, you know, he's looking up in that way, and she's looking up in the other way. But she's also sort of looking down. Her head is tilted up, but she's looking down. They're both sort of like twisting their heads into their bodies a little bit. They're both sort of leaning on their hands, but in different ways. You know, different ways, but also similar ways, you know? She's sort of reclining. He's leaning forward. Interesting. Yeah, the weight shift, yeah. I need to make sure... I don't want there to be like a sense of like her neck losing its attachment to her body. It doesn't look bad, but I need to just be wary about that when I get into refinement. go. It's not too bad. All these little details. Catching the light. This is sort of the knot of her double braid. Sort of being over here. And I don't know if I can... Trying to figure out how much of her bust line is going to be readable. It's bedtime. All right. If I need you, scream. I will not need you, but I'm glad you were here. I did say I do appreciate, because I looked at the Zelda creators stuff, and you had mentioned me. You were hyping me up a little bit in December. I appreciate that. Let's let it be a slow burn. I don't need to. There's no rush. When people come across the work, it's pretty well received at the point of discovery. It's common enough. I'll look at my phone and I'll have like, oh, I have 30 new likes, and I'll click and it's like one person discovered my account and like went through the trouble to like literally everything that I've posted. And that's awesome. That's like a great feeling. I'm like, hell yeah. Because that always, it happens when I'm feeling like down. I'm like, do I want to stream? I'm tired. I want to be lazy. And then something like that happens and I'm like, fuck yeah. Let's fire this baby up. Can't give up. Gotta give the people what they want. Keep saving our work. And it is bedtime. Well, bedtime for everybody soon. No need to be up late. I'm gonna sleep a lot better knowing that this is on the right track. I had to do it. I had to figure out what it was, or at least a solution. There's multiple solutions to everything. Most of my pieces thus far are complex, but they don't need to be. I don't know. I feel like this makes it clear. He is thinking about her. Lonely without her. Let's flip things. Make sure we're not way off course. Yeah, that's awesome. Trying to determine how much hair makes sense to show and where. If I show a little bit of it there and catch up with the rest of it here, I think that works. And then can this overlap and be... Link can have some cool rim light action. I should be avoiding details at this point, but can't help get myself into trouble. That's not a great Link face, but I'll get there. Just messing around at this point. Just filling up time with strokes that may or may not prove to be of value. So that's not a very good not a very good use of my remaining hours in the day, but that's okay. Very productive nonetheless. Trying to at least keep consistent the perspective to at least a degree. Doesn't have to be perfect. Scroll Reaper. Yeah. It shook out this way, and it was definitely hard fought. Thanks for joining the chat. It was I guess you were there for the drama. I was quite stymied. Looks better than you had imagined. I knew what was frustrating was that I knew that I would get there, but I didn't understand why I was having so many issues. But it wasn't drama, but I was honestly a little personally flummoxed, or I was a little rattled, especially with I did all those Midna studies. Actually, I don't know if you saw many of these. I finished these off this morning. It wasn't drama. It wasn't any drama with anything serious, but it certainly was something where I had to admit I didn't have the answer. You saw the front and side view. Okay, so this is the so they're I posted them on the all the social medias and stuff like that. So I've noticed that the my Twitch VODs aren't automatically publishing. They're saving, and I'll make sure they get up, but they're not automatically. Hey, Leica, how are you? Meowdy. There's a setting to auto-publish. What ended up happening? Oh, Scroll Reaper, this is your fault. Because you suggested to me it's not your fault. But it stemmed from, do you remember that that one artist musical recommendation you gave me? And you sent me the link, and I think it is actually, the issue is that it was sent as a link to Google Music. And I think what Google Music does is they put an invisible DMCA tattoo on the music as it's playing. And then Twitch automatically picked it up and is like, oh, we got a guy trying to stream Google Music, which we don't have a deal with. So they just played it automatically safe, and they gave it a big old music.youtube. Oh, well, it's owned by Google, basically. So it was a thing where a couple of the tracks that we played through the Google Music were flagged and given an issue. And I don't actually think it was a serious thing. But they, out of an abundance of caution, the automatic whatever flagging machine said, yo, you got to review this. And for now, ooh, cheap viewers. We don't need any of those. My viewers come free. Here we go. Like it says, I'm relatively all right trying to sort life stuff out, but that happens the whole time. Tell me about it. Here in LA, half the city feels like half the city burned down in a giant wildfire. We're fine, but I know people whose homes have burned down, and everybody does at this point, so it's really screwy. It's a shitty time out there, but hoping you can get through it. Do I think foul play as far as like arson? I made a joke the other day about because it's true, like I generated a spark just opening up my car door the other day, and we've seen these things, if you go to a gas station, they'll have little signs if you look for them and say like, hey, put away your cell phone, don't do, touch the side of your car so that you can ground yourself so you don't generate a spark, because sparks can ignite gasoline and stuff like that. Wild sparks can happen. I couldn't pet my cat. My cats are dead now, but back in the day, I would pet them and very quickly build up static electricity that would shock. And me and my wife the other day were wearing sweaters, and I just gave her a kiss, and a very painful spark shot through our lips. The conditions right now are so dry, and there's so much static in the air, it's crazy. It isn't a prerequisite that someone has to manually set a fire, but more than likely some idiot in LA, we call them unhoused people, but they essentially camp in the woods, and they will light a fire to keep warm, or smoke some drugs, or cook their food, whatever. It doesn't have to be the work of evil. It could just be a bad accident, but probably not all of the fires were natural. Probably a couple of them were foul play. Foul play as in man-made and man-generated. They're already filing lawsuits, actually, to pin the blame, and probably it's deserved, but they think the power company, basically the power companies, if a pole is out, like really out there, it's like hard to maintain, they'll just let it rot, and what'll happen is the wind will blow a twig on top of the two high voltage lines that are at the top, and if anything touches one high voltage line to the one right next to it, like a twig, could do that, or like a balloon, it will explode the transformer. And if that happens, then you've got fire everywhere. It's like setting off a grenade. We should give those folks houses to prevent future wildfires. I agree. What I don't want them to do is have houses next door to me. I'm not sure what the solution is, but they don't need to. Let me put it this way. LA is one of the most expensive cities in the country. I'm not sure if housing them in the most expensive place is the best solution. I'm not sure what is the best solution, but this is a non-political thing. It's just, for me, economics-wise, it's not a... If people are having trouble affording things, possibly cheaper housing is a good way to go. If it was up to me, everybody would have free housing and free healthcare and free food. I think we have the means as a society to do that. Given that the political weirdness of today is what it is, I don't see that happening anytime soon, unfortunately. Despite how I feel and people like me vote. It is not group housing with house manager to avoid abuse of the housing. Seems strict but necessary. Yeah, I don't really want to get into like blah 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 politics stuff. It's always down to the details, though. It's like how much housing is needed. You know, it's interesting. What's fair? I don't know. I don't know. I probably have, you know, more than I need. Does that mean I'm being bad? You know, how much do we really need? Marcus Aurelius used to write poetry about that stuff. It's like, never forget how small we really are and how little it takes to feed our bodies and clothe us and house us. So wise words. I can imagine definitely that if they did have houses, they wouldn't be starting as many fires. If that in fact was the case that started the fire in this case. Here's an equation. Is the cost of housing all the homeless population in LA? Just give them actually a nice house. Just give all of them like a nice house. What would that be? I don't know. Let's see here. Let's do a little math, because I think there's something. We'll split the difference between the generous and the. Do I have a calculator? Because this is interesting. They calculated the loss of. They're still calculating, but I think I heard $250 billion in financial devastation. It's like a mind-boggling number. Calculator. Okay, so 250 billion. Do we even have enough room on this calculator for that? $250. 123. If we assume, yeah, so let's do some math, because this is, you know, a way we could do, you know, get some quantifiable understandings of what the trade-offs were, right? $250 billion. And I've seen estimates that there are between, in LA County, there could be as many as 75,000 homeless people. It's a huge number. Divided by 75,000. Is that it? $3,333? God, I would have assumed. That can't be right. 75,000 times 3,333 equals. No, that's 250 million. Okay, no. I did this wrong. 250 250 million, 250 billion. Okay, now we can do this. So 250 billion divided by 75,000 equals. So we could have given every homeless person in LA $3,300,000 basically to $3,300,000 to solve their problems and come out even. It's interesting. If that prevented, if one thing negated the other, there we would have even, I don't know, parity, or I don't know what the word is, but it's food for thought. Food for thought. What's more expensive? What's worse for society? Everybody burning down? You know, it's stuff like this where you got to wonder. It's like, oh yeah, we can't afford to do this or that. It's like, well, here's the trade-offs. This is where I think universal basic income would be great in general. I agree. I don't know. I feel like the powers that be. Listen, put it on a ballot. Just put it on a ballot, and I'll vote for it. You know, I don't know why we have to stick with these weird systems of government where I have to vote for a person who can then vote to make something happen, but then they just lie and then they don't, or they make a deal and they go back on their word. You know, I don't want to vote for a person. I want to vote on the actual policy, right? Why can't we just line item our government, right? It's just silly. This is looking pretty good. Yes, there would be abuse of it and some people would be worse off, but I think most people would improve. I absolutely agree. I hope to see it one day. I hope we can get there without terrible threat of violence or crazy upheaval. You know, now that I've got small children, I want things to just be stable. You know, safety and all that. There's very, I don't know. I'm not too worried in general, but then again, we'll just have to see how things go. This is supposed to be like a forested area. It's probably hard to see, but this is like a wolf howling. The Zelda fans will That's cool. It looks like it's reading. Do a quick save. And yeah, we're gonna finish up in a minute. It's a little late. I need to sleep on this. Really quickly. Like, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but I did a cool sketch of the Midna characters recently. Because I don't know if you're keeping up to date with all the stuff that I'm putting out there, but I was pretty happy with how these turned out. If you're on Instagram, you can follow me and see the stuff I post. But I've been hearing and reading and seeing stuff about what's happening in social media these days. Like just the people that run Instagram, people that run Twitter. It's just so... makes me a little upset, to say the least. Okay, this is looking cool. If you want, join me in a healthy squint. Squint at the image. And listen to your lizard brain. It'll tell you what it likes. Right now it's telling me this. Hi, Sky Shadow. Welcome. Thank you. Sky, I really liked your sketch that you posted in the Discord. I have to heap a little praise. Pen and paper, no tracing, no pencil sketch. This is, to me, this is impressive. Oh, and I like that little symbol. I've seen those before. So, Teenage Sky. Midna in the Sky is lost with the background. Oh, it's not about, it's not even about, like, what you can make out. This is the, like, if you zoom out, it's more about, like, does this look interesting as a pattern of light and dark? And, you know, if you don't agree, that's fine. I think it does. If the pattern of light and dark looks good, then that's a great indication that the composition is good to go. Sky did some fun sketches. I thought this was pretty impressive. You know, you've got some foreshortening on the sword going towards camera. Like, this is cool, like, animation. Like an animated effect, right? Side eye. Yeah. Anyway. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. We appreciate it. Squirrel Reaper, I know you don't use Discord, but if you're ever tempted, not like my Discord is super crazy. but here we go. Anybody who's cool can opt in if they feel like joining a Discord. So. When you use the sword in the video game, the swipes make paint strokes. I'll have to show you sometime. Oh, that's cool. Join. It's not like it's been popping off or anything like that, but that it's a decent way to sort of, I don't know, check for updates or keep in touch off stream. Squirrel Reaper, I appreciate your candid honesty about the Minna getting lost in the background. I wonder if there's anything I should do about that right now. Probably not too important, but I think if there might be a simple way for me to kind of isolate her from the background. And then darken the sky, right? And then you'll probably pop more. You know, I do want the real truth, real hard truth. Mostly used it mainly for the apprenticeship you were in. Okay. It's like the medium of today's age. Namina, yes, I am awake. I'm a little sleepy, but I've had I had a vendetta against this composition. I needed to make it improved, and I was not about to rest until I did. Yeah, should we read way stronger with the darker sky? Yeah, kind of makes the vignette in a way with the dark bottom and top now. Yeah, it's heavily vignetted, and it still looks great with the like zooming out and seeing the pattern of light and dark, or squinting, you know. It looks like things are organized. It looks like there's intelligent placement to things. There will be good readable silhouettes. Should be possible. Also, if I do this, and all these will be helpful clues for me to sort out how to proceed. Like tomorrow when I try to do the rest of it. Something like that. That might be too much, but you know, helps it a little bit. You adore her eyes. They stand out nicely in the sky. I appreciate that. I think this is looking good. Face looks awesome. That's the important thing. And there's like weird little errant strokes here and there that of course are... I mean, I could post this as a rough sketch and just put it up. It's not a... I'm not worried about... Like, when it gets to this level where it's like... You can tell that it's going to look good as a finished thing. I'm going to mess around with some of this a little bit. At this point, I'm admittedly a little preoccupied with the attention my drawings get online, because the work is just really slow right now. I'll chalk that up to the fires and any other economic anxieties happening in the world, but I don't have control where my next gig comes from, so feels productive for me to like at least put stuff out there and get some likes. And I appreciate everybody popping into the stream to chat and keep me company and say hi. That's awesome. Always good to draw on that extra practice. Yeah. These are now amazing. This is like now the best way I have to keep sharp and have patience in between gigs, is to just do this stuff. I'm learning. I'm networking with other artists and learning about audiences and picking up cool tips and tricks. I've been learning a lot of cool stuff. This art piece looks like it could be a poster to a film or cover to a book. Yeah, that's the tacit kind of implication, is that there's a chance that someone shares this and it gets in front of the right person. Someone who might have a few shekels to rub together and is keen on hiring human artists. Be like, hey, that guy just posted something cool for free. Maybe I can hire him to draw something for me. It'll happen eventually. I hope. That's cool. Can anybody think of a cool title for the piece? If it's not clear, it's like Link is sort of pining for Midna, even though, you know, he knows he'll never see her again. And you know, she's of a different kind of crazy ancient species from another dimension. And whatever. It's just something about her being a goth baddie that he has a hard time getting over. I'm really amazed at how quickly you can create and modify your art. Few artists I've seen struggle greatly for a few hours on just doing eyes. I am very well practiced at drawing efficiently, but I appreciate that. Yeah, I have a lot of mileage. Because I'm old. This is looking good. I should just stop messing with it. I think it's kind of getting there. Let's tweak a few things. Namina, do you follow me on Instagram or Twitter or Blue Sky? Not that you have to, but and we should all throw away our social medias. That's the most important thing. But if we haven't yet, then you can follow me. It's a shame Midna was replaced essentially with Hilda. The opposite of Hyrule is Lorule, and she's the Dark Zelda there. Can I look up Hilda? I'd like to do that. Is she interesting? Hilda. Yeah. Is she evil? Here we can see Hilda.
Who above all else desire power.
I'm very interested in the these are the other Zelda games. This is like the there's like a weird alternate universe, right? I had an idea for doing it's like Bad Zelda. Right. Yeah, it's the sequel to A Link to the Past that she appears in. Yeah, Link to the Past is my favorite, and I'm aware that they released, what is that one called? Oracle of Ages? Is that what it is? Hyrule Warriors. Interesting. Ravio and Hilda, yeah. So there's like the scrappy, like street urchin version of Link, Ravio, right? Zelda. There's like the multiverse of Zelda stuff. Yeah, just looked into your ever so slightly to grab your DeviantArt. Ah, yeah. Oh, I should list my DeviantArt on this thing too. Or do I have... Is it the same thing? DeviantArt. Let's see here. Is it Nate a lot? Is that you? I can still call you Namina, right? Alright, let's see here. No, not knit a lot. Oh. Well, they started watching me 1 minute ago. I don't know. That is a fun name. That's like a habit. I need to get another sticky note. So it's like sticky note saying like, don't rant about AI, no politics, and then don't assume things about people. Let's see here. All right. Let me see if there's anything else I can do before we call it a finished product. Okay, what I just did was I put the layer of the same information on top of itself as a multiply layer, which basically darkens all the information. It still looks cool. Let's try it as an overlay. That's like interesting, but kind of way too bright. Still, it has the oomph. Wonder if I can erase into that and have a nice effect. Kind of does it. Yeah, it's human nature. I think you might see me on your Twitter account, but who's... Do you sell prints? Thanks for asking. I don't yet. I'm trying to... I'm trying to work on my self-esteem. You know, it's funny. I told my wife today that you really like that Goblin Tower Village you drew. Goblin Tower Village? Did I draw something? What oh, the goblins. Yeah. That needs to get finished first. But yeah, we'll get that finished. I'll figure out a way to make things available. I'll figure out a way to make things available. It's just right now I'm trying to focus my priority on I think what will, if I'm any judge of myself, I do better moving in chunks that are like my focus right now is streaming regularly and outputting good quality work that is you know, worthy, you know, of attention. Having it be sort of available as physical media feels like it's almost a separate goal. And then managing where it goes and into like it feels already that like it's an overwhelming amount of stuff just to stream and then put it onto social media and manage what's happening there, and nothing, you know, and I'm barely getting started. It's not like I'm getting overwhelmed with notifications or anything like that. It's just tricky with everything else going on in my life to just do those simple goals justice. So adding folding anything else into it is going to be it's a down the road thing, not a right now thing. But the cool thing is, you know, this is all digital. It's not going to go stale. It's not going to there's no limited time or anything like that. Maybe in time for Christmas I'll make some stuff available. But for right now, I just want to concentrate on like making pieces that are cool. Get that done. That's the goal for now. All right, this looks cool. I don't see any reason to keep messing around. I'm going to export it and we'll cast it out there. Now, my plan is to finish this. So starting tomorrow, I'll start refining this sketch into clean line art that will, serve as the next stage. We'll watch it all come together in real time. This is the next big piece. The Bokoblin piece, the Bokoblin village, that is such a complex piece that it will probably take me a month. If I worked on it steady streaming, it might take 2 to 3 weeks. Whereas like this, I feel like if I had to, like if this week that we're entering isn't busy, I'll be able to finish this by the end of the week. And it had so many fun hidden details. I agree. I can't wait to finish that piece, but I also can't ignore that like I have goals that include more or less, I don't know, when work is not busy, like it really feels like I have a lot of need to ramp up the engagement on my social stuff. It's the only tool I have right now to like network, unfortunately, while I wait for other clients to get back to me. Basically, I was holding on a bunch of jobs and they just kept getting pushed and pushed because the fires and then political shit and then economic shit and then the holiday. And it's like I may not work until February at this point, and it's like it's really hard. So I'm trying to not go insane and just see what I can do to push this stuff out. And I don't know if I get many more like, hey, can I, because people ask about the print stuff and I'm like, maybe I should just have some stuff out there. But it's like, here's the thing is the energy it would take to find a way to like make the print stuff manageable, unless I had like 50 orders or something like that. I don't know if it would be a good exchange of time. I may not be your target audience, but I do love your work. Well, I don't have a target audience necessarily. Anybody who likes my work can like my work and buy it. But we'll get there. We'll get there. It just won't be this week. Probably not next week. At the end of the February, if I'm still not working, I will have no choice. So we'll see. All right. Let me do a thumbnail. That means I go here. This is good. I'm glad I got this done. I did all this today. And it looks good. It's going to be a solid piece. All right. What should I do? How about a nice smile for once? That's not too bad. Okay. It was really awesome that people were able to pop in and keep me company. I appreciate it. And we'll see. Tomorrow, I'll probably be back at it unless work comes calling, so I might see you then. All right. Good night, everybody. Adios.